What's up, gaming heroes, and welcome back to another awesome World of Warcraft video. In today's video, we are doing the Outlands RTN route. This was one of the first RTN routes we ever made. Outlands is so tricky to do RTN with because it is really awkwardly shaped. However, this can produce absolutely incredible results, especially with the transmogs of the RTN route. So, without further ado, let's dive into the video. Remember, supporting me over on erosiumtv.com gets you 120 gold making guides, RTN routes, TSM strings, whatever you name it, it's on there. Support me on erosiumtv.com. I am massively appreciative of anyone who supports me over on that website. It helps me so much, so thank you. And let's get into this awesome video. Okay, so if you're trying to get to Outlands as quickly as possible, the best way to get there is realistically just going to your portal room in either Stormwind or Orgrimmar and then going through to Shattrath Portal. If you've never been before, then you'll have to go to Hellfire Citadel, which is over in the Badlands. Use the portal, but make sure you speak to Zdormi to transfer you to the olden version of the old timeline of Outlands. Right, when you get here, it's very simple. We're actually heading over to Hellfire to start off this route. Now, because RTN Outlands is such an awkward route, you can't really just be like, oh, because, you know, you start in the middle of the zone. So you're like, well, do we go to Taraka first and go to Shadowmoon, then Taraka again and Nagrand, and then, oh, well, we got to do Hellfire. Oh, what do we do from there? Honestly, it's so difficult to actually figure out. So what we do instead is just fly over to Hellfire and we start the route there because it's kind of the easiest position to start it. Okie dokie. So the things to remember is the ore in Outlands is worth a boatload, so it's definitely worth picking up. And additionally, if you are an engineer with Outlands Engineering level 5, you can buy yourself a Zap Throttle Mote Extractor from the auction house and then use this to suck up clouds. And this will give you motes and primals alike, which are going to be super useful for making tons of gold. Okie dokie, Loot Appraiser is on and it is started and we're going to make a boatload. As long as we see some chests, oh my gosh, chests, why are you not spawning, bro? Now, the most common question I get on these videos is, can I use a warrior? Can I use a mage? You can use any class you want, guys. It doesn't matter what class you use. You can use every single class to do this route. The only difference is the only class that can track treasures on the minimap is the Outlaw Rogue. Okay? That is the only class that can track treasures on the minimap. So if you want to be able to track the treasures, you need to be an Outlaw Rogue and a Rogue in the Outlaw specialization. Okay? Now, once you've got treasure tracking as your spec, you can then just click on your tracking icon next to the minimap and select treasure tracking. Now, I will say, if you aren't a rogue, don't worry. You can just go to the actual locations of the line. Don't worry. Just as long as you've got my route, you can just follow the route exactly. And my route takes you through every single treasure chest spawn that there is in the game. Okay, that's the real key here. That's why you want to support me on erosiumtv.com and get my routes directly, because my routes are optimized highly. Myself and my whole team have tested these routes to make sure that we get you all of the specific chests drops that you can find on this route. I've never really been a huge fan of, don't worry about that, that's just hey. I've never really been a huge fan of content creators who just ask for people to support them but then don't give you anything back. So I've always been a much bigger fan of, you know, if my audience are going to support me, I'm going to give my heart and soul to make sure that they've got something in return for their hard-earned money. I've got such I've got such respect for my audience. I really do. So when you guys support me and do these types of things, I try and give you something back, like that's worth the value. You know, the information I teach in these guides and my strategies that I don't discuss on YouTube, but I discuss in my guides on Erosium TV, get people to the point where they're making so much gold they never have to pay the WoW subscription again. It is so awesome to see. And I just love seeing those messages each day from people saying, oh, Erosium, your guides have helped me so much with this. Oh, we got a chest. It's so nice, guys. It really is. Okay, what chest is this? It's a silver-bound treasure chest, and nothing special this time. I've got to say, the crafting at the moment is doing insane. I've been making so much gold with crafting. It's unreal. There's a lot of people who don't know what they're doing in the marketplace at the moment. So you've got two options when you're dealing with someone who doesn't know what they're doing with crafting. And when I say doesn't know what they're doing, they basically craft and they stick things up for like 10 to 100 gold profit, when it should be like 4,000 gold profit or 10,000 gold profit, but they want 100 gold profit because they think it will sell quicker. It won't at all. When someone wants to buy a transmog, they'll just buy it. They don't care about the price, because that's not the mentality that people who buy a lot of transmogs really run with. When they want a transmog that suits their specific set, they don't care about the price. They'll just pay it. As long as it's not absurd, like billions of gold and stuff, they're just, yeah, I'll pay it. Not a big deal. So it's completely pointless, like undercutting yourself out of thousands of gold. The problem is, if you get only one person who's like that, you can just send them over an in-game mail. Hey, this item, I notice you're posting really low. We can make a lot more gold out of this. Would you mind posting a little bit higher in future? I've done that. It works really, really well. I've taught a whole bunch of people on my realm how to post auctions a little bit better. And it's worked really well. But for some markets, not, because you just get someone who just doesn't know what they're doing. Unfortunately, I've had to kind of give up on the shirt market on Silver Moon. And the reason for that is there's just a few people on Silver Moon EU who just don't really understand economics or anything like that. They just post things. They'll get like a super rare recipe like the yellow lumberjack shirt, right? You have to pay like 30 to 50k just to buy that recipe from the auction house. And then they'll sell the shirt for like 100 gold. And I'm like, why? We sell these shirts like hotcakes for 3,000 gold. Why would you sell it for 100 gold? It doesn't make any sense. But they prefer to sell, you know, 1 or 2 a day rather than selling 1 a day for 10 times the profit. It is what it is. So this is where the RTN route gets a little bit awkward. You had to fly from Hellfire to Netherstorm. And the reason we have to do that is because we either had to do Hellfire to Shadowmoon or Hellfire to Netherstorm. It was one of the two. And we figured that if we go up, we can end up closer to Shattrath as a result, and that will probably work out better. So you have a little flight there, and then you're pretty much off to the races. So I'm currently at the point with crafting now where if there's like 3 people posting really low, I'll sometimes try and ask them to, like, you know, post a little bit higher. But, you know, if it happens again like the next day, I won't bother with that particular item for a while until they kind of lose interest, and then I'll jump back in at a later point. A lot of the time people set their like maximum crafting to like 600% crafting, and that's like an awful string. It really, really is an awful string, because one day your crafting cost could be really, really low, and then suddenly your profit is really, really low as a result. So it just doesn't make sense. So you're much better off setting like a DB market or DB region value as your maximum price, and your normal price, to be honest, as well. The only really crafting price you really need in there is your minimum, because you want to make sure your minimum profits are always covering your crafting cost at the very least. Now, obviously, if you're a supporter, you just have access to my TSM strings, so you don't even need to worry about that. But it's still good to talk about, because certain situations, you know, you need to alter your TSM strings to suit your own profile and your own realm. That's fine. And I like to just cover those details just in case. Ooh, we seem to have ourselves a chest. What we got in here then? Come on. Silver-bound treasure chest. Nothing good, unfortunately. Okay, we are on to the Blades Edge Mountains. Because Blades Edge Mountains is really like hilly, it goes up and down, up and down, up and down constantly. It's a bit difficult to like gauge whether it's worth stopping for certain like mining materials. So what I actually do is I only stop if it's corium ore. If it's not, then I don't really worry too much with it being Blades Edge Mountains. It's just an awkward zone, very awkward shapes and things like that. So you're just better off not worrying too hard about that. What we are better off doing is getting some blooming chests. Am I right? Here we go. Silver-bound treasure chest. Boom! 4,300 gold. You love to see it. Okay, now we are into Zanger Marsh. We've gotten pretty unlucky this run with chests. We have seen chests, they've just not been worth much. Speaking of which, we have one just here, and we're going to see how much this is worth. Is it worth much? Let's find out. 2,263. Oh, we got a chest in here. What we got? Ah, here it is. Silverbound treasure chest. Eagle horn longbow, 2,100 gold. This is interesting. We're seeing a lot of transmogs which are like very similar priced at the moment. And I know for a fact, just from experience of years of transmog selling, that the medium range transmogs tend to sell the fastest. So those transmogs between 1,000 and 5,000 gold, I find sell the fastest. Then I'd say probably around the 10,000 to 20,000 gold mark sell pretty quick as well. But as I say, 1,000 to 5,000 gold, they tend to sell the fastest out of all the transmogs. Now, obviously, it is transmog, so it does take your time, but you will sell them. Another treasure chest. Anything good? 2,400. Yes, dude. We're getting a lot of these like little transmogs. This is going to be good for just like creating like really good stock levels. I think this is going to probably lead to the most consistent gold making. So Outlands RTN might become like my most consistent gold making route. Another treasure chest. 4,095. Brilliant, dude. This we're getting the same thing over and over. This is great. Some really nice, consistent gold making. Oh, another treasure chest. Wow. There's loads. Okay, so these are interesting. They're worth 3,694 gold on the auction house, but the region sale average is actually much lower. So it's not counted them. That's interesting. Either way, I'm going to try and sell them. My transmog TSM strings I've got on my membership over on erosiumtv.com has some transmog sale operations attached to it. So if you import those strings, it will actually just set everything up for you. You know, it'll do all your vendor operations. So it will set anything under 2,000 gold automatically to a vendor, and it will keep anything that's worth over that amount so that you can sell it on the auction house. It will also handle all auction house prices as well, which is always nice. Now, bear in mind here, this is where you see a lot of these little fake chests. They aren't worth anything. So you actually have to just take a moment and just run your cursor over all these chests to see if any of these chests are silver-bound treasure chest. Like it says there is one here, but it might not be. Just got to check inside. No silver-bound treasure chest. It's just, that's the spawn location of a silver-bound treasure chest. So no luck there. We just do a double take. This is because they've got like loads of these treasure chests in here. Don't overthink it. Don't feel like you need to check everything. I'll open one just to show you. It's literally just silver and then this nectar, which ironically is worth 350k. There's no real reason that it's worth that price. It's fake value, so just ignore that. I know it says I know it says that amount, but I'm not trying to manipulate it. I'm not going to count that off the amount, okay? Because that would be tricking it, and I'm not going to be disingenuous. My integrity is what sets me apart from many of my competition, and so I prefer to be honest about the value of things. 350k for literally a drink. That is the craziest thing. Oh, we got some swamp gas here. Use the moat extractor for 4 moats of water. Oh, we got a... Is that not a rare? Oh, I thought Boglash was a rare. Never mind. We got a silver-bound treasure chest. Girdle of Siege. Not really worth much there. Oh, well. And it seems we got another treasure-bound treasure chest. Is this upstairs or downstairs? It's upstairs. Okay. Wonderful. And that is a shield that's worth 6,744. That's fantastic. And if you click on the shield, you can kind of see why. It's got the classic Lordrion. Isn't that the Lordrion logo? What the Stormwind used to be all about, you know? Humans and all that. Kind of cool. I like that. Okay, we are on to Nagrand now. Oh, we have a silver-bound treasure chest. But I think it's in the cave, so I have to go back round to find the cave. Ah, here it is. And this treasure chest is literally at the last part of this entire place, of course. You can't expect it to be easy, guys. And it wasn't even worth it. That's so typical, dude. Okay, so far we've had one treasure chest in Nagrand. Nagrand's already let me down because this used to be like my favorite zone for treasure chests. But today it's like, it doesn't like me. It's got a problem with me. I should turn my streamer loot on, you know? Ooh, we got another 3,200 Fist of Reckoning. Okay, we'll take it. Looks like this run has just given us loads of these little consistent strategies, which you gotta love. You gotta love to see it. There's always loads of dented footlockers here, so I like to zoom in pretty hard so I can actually see what's in here. And there is actually a treasure chest in this building right here. So it's actually worth our time to go in. Here it is. Ooh, Axe of the Legion, 7,200 gold. Beautiful. And when you look at that transmog, you understand why that is worth 7,200 gold. That is a gorgeous Axe transmog. Okie dokie, so we've now entered Taraka Forest, and it's very simply just a matter of blasting through Taraka Forest and then Shadow Moon Valley. It's going to be interesting to see how much gold we made. Now, I'm going to take that 300,000 gold off the grand total because I don't want to trick the results, to be honest. I'm not really keen on that sort of thinking. So I'll probably take like 360k off just to be fair, which means so far this has been like a 50-60k run, which I'm pretty happy with that actually, because it's actually quite a lot of transmogs at a medium level value, which is probably going to mean I'm going to sell that a lot quicker than the high level, high cost transmog, which will take a little bit longer. I'm fine to sell things that take long, but it's always nice when you get something that's just quick, you know? Ooh, I think we got a treasure chest. There it is. Chest guard of illumination, 2,000 gold. Dude, another one, medium level transmogs. So Outland is literally the hub of consistent gold making, really. Because if you're just farming things that are going to sell really quickly because, you know, they're medium level costs, these are going to do really, really well. So Outland RTN is definitely the consistent RTN route. If you're looking for consistent sales, Outland RTN is definitely the way to go. Remember, support me on erosiumtv.com to check out these routes. Buildbound treasure chest. It looks like it's down here. Is it in here? There it is. Stormlord's girdle. Not really worth much. 1,000 gold. Consistent transmogs, dude. What can I say? Oh my gosh. Ooh, what we got here then? Yes, Scale of the Beast. 4,377 gold. You love to see it. Okay, so Shadow Moon Valley, the final zone. Okay, so this cloud here is our final treasure of the RTN route. We've managed to do 52 minutes. It says 420,000 gold, but as promised, I am going to take 360,000 gold off that grand total because of the random white item we got, which has fake value. So 420,000 minus 360 equals 60,000 gold in 52 minutes. Pretty happy with that, actually. So usually, you know, I have these like super sexy figures or amazing amounts, but that's a lot of like transmog, which are really super high value. This Outlands route, I've actually got a load of transmogs, which are worth like 2,000 to 5,000 gold, thereabouts, and getting loads of those. So when I stick those up in the auction house, it's going to really fill up my stock levels, and I'm going to have a lot more frequent sales because of having so many more consistent transmogs. I want to show you quickly how you can actually get these RTN routes. All you have to do is support me over on erosiumtv.com. You can support here. It's $10 a month. There's a video here to explain exactly what you get with that. Once you've done that, you can just go ahead and click on my member guides, or you can go straight down to RTN routes, and then you can access all of the RTN routes individually. And there is a lot of them right now. Now, if you want to access my TSM strings, you can do. If you just want to access all of my guides on a whole, we've got like a full members page where it's got every single guide I've actually got on this page. And there is like, there's well over 120 guides there. It might be closer to 130 now. So, I mean, there's more than 13 pages just here alone. So how did we do with the RTN Outlands? 60,000 gold. That's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. Consider supporting me over on erosiumtv.com if you want to get more awesome gold guys just like this. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Have a lovely day, and this is Erosium out.